Well, first of all, I want to say thank you very much to everybody that has subscribed to me over the couple years that my channel has been going. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you continue to enjoy what I do in the future. So yeah, I figured I'd do a FAQ for some of the more frequently asked questions and whatnot that I've gotten over the couple of years, so without further ado, let's get this thing rolling.
Mentos, the Fresh Maker.
The thing that inspired me to make a YouTube channel was, well, let me start by saying that back in late middle school and all throughout high school I was actually known as Donkey Kong because we were supposed to write this report on ourselves, introducing ourselves to the class, about a 2-page report, but I was too lazy, I didn't want to actually do it. So instead of writing what I was supposed to, I wrote the lyrics to the Donkey Kong song from DK64. And I actually sang it in front of the class. I got more points than what the assignment was worth. Well, people thought that was hilarious. And I wound up singing it all throughout high school. It actually got kind of annoying how often people wanted me to sing it, and I'm sure some other people felt the same way. But whatever the case, I was known as that, and shortly after I graduated, one of the girls that I went to school with had asked me if I had to YouTube myself singing it for old classmates and whatnot. And I thought that was a pretty good idea. I told her I would do it, but at the time I didn't have a way to record, didn't have a camera, but once I did get a camera, I did put it on here. I wasn't interested in doing gameplay videos for quite a while after my channel was made, though. But once I realized that I could record some footage from my computer with them, then I immediately became interested. I wanted to show some stuff that I could do, but I didn't really know how I'd go about starting everything out or what I would do with my channel exactly. I knew I wanted to be different, though, and I knew whatever I started out with had to be Mega Man, because he's my favorite video game icon. Well, I decided on doing Buster-only no-damage battles against all the Robot Masters, and from there I started thinking of other stuff that I could do that might be interesting. I looked around to see if anybody had done a Frog Mario only run of Super Mario Bros. 3, and it hadn't been done, so I did that. And pretty much from that point I decided to make my channel pretty much old school themed and based on challenges. I don't like doing normal runs. But pretty much that is how I got my channel started and what inspired me to do it.
The best part of waking up, it's the do-up in all I do.
Well, there really isn't all that much story to the username, really. At the time that I made the username, I'd been playing quite a bit of Final Fantasy, and Red Mage is my favorite Final Fantasy class, so that obviously had something to do with it. And 1987 is my birth year, so yeah, pretty much just a lot of Final Fantasy mixed in with my birth year is how the username came to be. I like the username, though. It's my username on both sites.
Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool, with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Well, that's kind of a hard question to answer, really, because I don't really want to give anything away, but I can at least tell you guys some of the games that I do have planned to go through in the future. As far as NES games are concerned, in the direct future, I'm going to be doing a no-damage run of Donkey Kong Jr. and a solo character run of Final Fantasy III. And other games that I have planned for NES is the Adventure Island series, Castlevania games, Kid Icarus, stuff like that. Kirby, all that kind of good stuff. I'm going to be doing some Super Nintendo games eventually. The Mega Man games, Mega Man 7, X, X2, and X3. Super Mario World, all that kind of stuff. Do some Genesis games, Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles. Some of the other games for Genesis as well. I even have some Nintendo 64 games planned, like The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and, games like that for the Nintendo 64. I also have solo runs planned for Pokemon Yellow, Crystal, and Emerald. I haven't quite decided on what Pokemon I'm going to be using throughout Pokemon Emerald. I'm trying to find a really interesting one to do with. I've kind of got one chosen, but I am not 100% sure on it yet. But I'll eventually decide. I may also do a run through Oracle of Seasons. I don't really plan on doing any more blind runs unless the game is brand new. But other than that, I'm just going to try to stick to challenges. I really don't like to do normal runs through video games. I feel like that's been done 100 or more times, you know? So I just kind of like to do challenge runs, you know, stand out, make it more interesting to watch. I have no problem doing runs through the same game that I've already done a run for, so long as I have a new challenge for it, or, you know, something to keep the game fresh and worth watching. I don't like doing the same thing over and over. That's boring and just isn't any fun. So yeah, if I do decide to do a game that I've already done, it'll be a whole new challenge for it. But yeah, it's basically some stuff that I plan for the future. In the direct future, it'll probably be some stuff like Donkey Kong Jr. No Damage and Final Fantasy III solo character run. I also have some obscure games that I'd like to do runs for, you know, just games that are out there, like Donkey Kong Jr. Math, for crying out loud, you know. I mean, what the heck is there to do for that? I don't know. I'm still trying to think of something to do for that. But I would like to do a run just for the heck of it for that eventually. Won't be much of a run to it, but yeah. I've actually had a couple of requests for pinball games. The Pinball and Pinball Quest, I guess. High speed stuff like that. I've got kind of an idea for what I want to do for those if I decide to do some pinball games. But I'll probably wait just a short while before doing anything like that. On my list of runs, though, I have well over 100 different ideas for challenges and games that I'm going to do, so I'm far from running out of ideas. I just haven't quite decided what I'm going to do in the direct future just yet. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have planned.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
Well, to be honest, I'm not actually the one who came up with the title Old School Video Game King. A while back, I'd done some advertising on a few sites, and on one of the sites, the people were being really rude. They were telling me how boring and stupid my stuff was. One of the people went so far as to even tell me that I'm an angry video game nerd wannabe. I don't quite get how I'm an AVGN wannabe, but I never went back there. Eventually, I did a single turtle run with Raphael of the first Ninja Turtles game on NES. And some of the people who had commented told me that they had seen the videos from a site called thetechnodrome.com. And so naturally I was interested in it, and I went and checked it out. It turns out subscriber Adam Winters had embedded a couple of my videos on there. And thank you very much for doing that, Adam Winters. And the people seemed friendly, so I figured I'd share some of my other work with them, and they seemed to enjoy it. And one of the users on there, Benvenuto, I believe is how it's pronounced. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, by the way. Anyway, he wrote lyrics for my channel based on the AVGN's theme song. And obviously I'm not going to use it, otherwise I would be kind of a rip-off. But in the lyrics, he called me the Old School Video Game King. The lyrics made me laugh. I rather enjoyed the lyrics. I'll probably post them somewhere throughout this fact. But, yeah, that's pretty much where the Old School Video Game King came from.
It's the do-up in all I do. The mountain gonna Roma, always coming through.
I definitely like platformers the most. Stuff like Mega Man, Mario, you know, that kind of stuff, Sonic. I'm not very good at first-person shooters. I don't really care all that much for war games. First-person shooters, I'm just not really into them. I can't hardly play them, and I'm really terrible at them. If you ever wanted to see me suck at a game, those would be the games you'd see me suck at. I like airplane shooter games, like, you know, Gradius, Sky Shark, stuff like that. I like adventure games like Zelda, and I like RPGs like Final Fantasy. I don't like the kind of RPGs that take you weeks to beat. I like RPGs that you can beat, like, in less than a week. I don't like RPGs that take half a month to beat or more. But, yeah, so there's that. I actually play learning games more than I play first-person shooters. I can do a game of Oregon Trail, no problem. And as I mentioned earlier, Donkey Kong Math, stuff like that. I don't hardly ever play learning games though. Just not all that great to me. I like beat 'em ups as well. Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Final Fight. Fighting games I like. I can do me some Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. Even some Super Smash Brothers I really like. Overall, though, I'd say my favorite type of games are probably platformers. Mega Man and Mario and Sonic and all that. Pokemon's good for RPGs and whatnot. I really like Pokemon because you can customize your team so much. But, yep, that's pretty much it. The only genres I don't really care all that much for is sports and first-person shooters and war games. Other than that, I pretty much like everything else. I do like some sports games quite a bit, but very few sports games you'll see me playing. But yeah, like I said, it's pretty much everything with me except for sports for the most part and first-person shooters and war games. No, making YouTube videos isn't a private thing for me. In fact, my 3 closest friends in real life are subscribed to me. Minsk Moon, Grafuchus88, I believe that's how you pronounce it, Grafuchus88. I'm hereby referring to him as Cheese. Cheese is subscribed to me, and Von43. I think even possibly family members, but I highly doubt the family members are subscribed to me, because hardly any of them know about it. Not that I'm ashamed to tell them, because I don't really care, but I just don't really think that they'd be interested. I don't really have that close of family relations, to be honest. I'm pretty different from my siblings and everything. I'm pretty sure maybe a couple other people I went to school with are subscribed, and some other people as well that I know in real life, so YouTube is by no means a private thing for me. If people like my videos that I know in real life, then they can subscribe, or they can subscribe to support me as their friend, just whatever works. Either way, I appreciate their subscriptions and everything. So yeah, like I said, it's no private thing to me. There's no problem in doing it, in my opinion. There's nothing to hide about it. It's what I like doing, that's what I'll do occasionally, so yeah. Well guys, like I said earlier, thank you very much to every one of you who has subscribed to me, and I really hope that you all enjoy what you see coming in the future and everything. If you have any more questions or anything, feel free to ask and I'll answer them for you. And thank you for watching, and like I said, I hope you enjoy what comes in the future.